Following us across our social media pages, we've been sharing with you a story from the North Tongue constituency, and that is in a community called Ayiwata. Now, they have a very, very big problem in terms of their roads, which are very bad. That is causing some distress for them when it comes to accessing health facilities. Shadrach Odamie-Jare was in the area. He will definitely join me on the table as we talk about that and also speak to the authorities about what can be done about this situation. And then we'll bring to you an exclusive interview with the Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Lawyer Abraham Amaleba, on activities from the authority so far and what is to be expected in 2026. Of course, not forgetting the conversation about the Voxy vehicles. We'll bring that to you here on the show also. So do what to stay with us all through till 2 p.m. For now, let's do the news update. And Natasha is here with the update. Hello, Natasha.
Hello, Desmond. How are you?
I'm well. Trust you're well too.
Yes, I'm well. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, take us away.
You're watching Newsbeat on Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Natasha Jamra. Here are the top stories for today. The Ayiwata electoral area in the North Tongue district of Ghana is crying out for help as women in labor are forced to travel on bad roads. We will be engaging various stakeholders in this health crisis. A coalition of policy think tanks have proposed a 1 cedi 65 pesos fuel price reduction in the petroleum price build-up as immediate relief for Ghanaians. And later on Good Afternoon Ghana, we'll be bringing you a conversation with the Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Abraham Amaleba, on the operations of the authority and matters concerning road safety in Ghana. Let's take our top story for the day. The Ayiwata electoral area in the North Tongue district of Ghana is crying out for help. A shocking expose by Metro TV has revealed that residents are facing a life and death struggle due to impassable roads, with the latest victim being a young woman in active labor who had to be escorted to the nearest medical facility by a Metro TV team. The latest incident follows a similar case on Friday, where an elderly woman from the same community was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but the journey was delayed by hours due to poor state of the road worsening her condition. The woman had to be carried in a cloth supported with sticks, a testament to the dire situation in Ayiwata. We have our man Shadrach Odamie-Jare following the story. Take a listen.
I just got to the community here. What's the name of this place? Agopre. And just when I arrived, I was told that there is another lady who is in labor. And because they do not want to risk it and may be unsuccessful reaching the nearest health facility, they have to keep her inside and then make sure she delivers at home. So I am actually on my way to check her in her delivery state and how labor is going so far. Good afternoon.
Yes,
Who is the mother here? You are the one. You would have to help me the translate. Are you the one helping with the delivery? But how far? How far is she?
Ale ole sisi ejebe amovanti oje na jigaka mete na cho nse na waju tami didibe na wakoyi le koji amomanyo tonu pete oba
For what are we doing? I'm saying, are we taking her to the hospital? Because I don't mind using my car, but are we taking her to the hospital?
Yes,
or
they are planned to.
So why is she on the floor there? Is this where everybody delivers?
Yes.
If all those in the women in the community, if they want to deliver, this is where they deliver?
Yes, please. Or any other rooms.
So they just put them on the floor,
Yes,
then they deliver
yes,
there?
Yes. That's how they have been doing it.
But are you a member of this community?
Yes.
Were you delivered here?
Yes, please.
This is where your mother delivered you?
Yeah. No. My house is there. You see, the house is very... the house, they have not settled at one place. And they get.
So your mom told you were also delivered in the house?
Yes, please.
So all of you here were delivered at home?
Yes, please.
So meaning she's not going to be taken to the hospital. She'll give birth here?
Yes.
That is what they are trying to do?
They told me that they are addressing her before to the hospital.
Because I am asking this man because personally now I am getting worried, and as a journalist who is also a bit versed in health related matters, I know the complications that come with active labor, because sometimes when labor is also delayed, you would have to now deal with things like obstetric fistula, where now the mother would have to be passing urine and then feces out of her vagina, and she may not even know. And for communities like this, they even attribute it to witchcraft. I am sweating not because of the sun, but my whole body is feeling uneasy watching the lady in labor on the bare floor and with nearly nothing to be done, because now we would have to figure a way of carrying her through this route to where I parked my car. That is, even if I want to use my car as help. Else, we would have to let her be. There is nothing we can really do, so we are just watching them. It's a health center.
Yes. It's also far.
No, me, I don't mind. We can use the car. Almost midday, and like I mentioned early on, upon arrival I chanced on this situation where this young lady is in active labor, and from where they are situated to the nearest health facility, God knows how they are going to get there. So I had to volunteer because I had a backup car available, but from where it is parked, that would be about 40 minutes walk from where she is living in the community. So the community members plus the elderly women in the community helped walk her from her house through the stream, and then gradually we were able to reach the site where I had parked the backup vehicle. So I am trying to find my way to the nearest health facility available. I don't know how far that is, but I'm just going as far as my fuel can carry me. And this is the reality on the ground. This is nothing dramatized. This is nothing scripted. This is a life trying to bring another life into or right into the earth, and this is what they will have to suffer. We are only keeping our fingers crossed. Should anything happen, when I say anything, should she get fully dilated and we would have to put to bed, then we would probably have to change our professions from media personalities, from journalists to midwives or mid-husbands, if you want to call them, so that we help with delivery. So we are just going. We don't know what may happen.
We'll bring you more of that later on the show. Now, Deputy Minister of Works and Housing and Member of Parliament for Ewutu West constituency, Gisela Akushika-Tete Agbotui, has reiterated government's commitment to job creation with plans to construct a more than 24-hour market complex at Ewutu Bojiase. There's more in this report. Residents, market women and traditional leaders of Ewutu Bojiase have expressed relief following an engagement between the MP, the Assembly member and market stakeholders ahead of the project. According to Gisela Akushika-Tete Agbotui, the Bojiase market, which has existed for nearly a century, is in urgent need of redevelopment. She noted that the construction of the modern markets complex fulfills a 2024 campaign promise made by President John Dramani Mahama. The project is expected to create employment opportunities, particularly for women, and help reduce poverty in Bojiase and surrounding communities.
Bojiase market, old market, next year, 100 years. I feel there needs an improvement. And Bojiase is historically a trading town because of all the farms and all that in the catchment area. We are just very happy. Say we in Akwenya say we can be MP even before my bike. I hear for Casa now. My name is Bojiase market. We should be able to try and see what we can do about the Bojiase market to improve it.
Meanwhile, the district chief executive for Owutu Senya West, Kalala Nyameche, has called on market women to cooperate fully with the assembly and contractors to ensure smooth execution of the project.
na ade aso ya ba ti akomo chew ko bi biara chew sira hu mbe na so a be bia be kire won no hu na mo ko na yentumi na yemfa ne yenye emeye ne awose yeye.
The chief of Owutu Bojiase, Naikweku Sedu Otabil III, also urged unity among residents and traditional authorities to support the development.
Se wadwen ye ho se ye bisade kese ye won so no na o se ye nyina enkamum na yembo na chidom na omeye maye ya eyasem papa ti de mesra manfo nyina ne se momen kamum yenye nipa baako na yemma contractor ne MP ene ahemfo na wo ha nyina maximum cooperation because ade na omo ye de amabodwi aseman omo nye mfa mo bia dise ye mo maximum cooperation na etimi makame bia ama na etimi wie successfully a
group called Concerned Citizens of New Durban have issued a firm demand for the immediate restoration of the Jackson Park Event Center to its original local operator and the prompt release of the Member of Parliament's Common Fund. The group is also calling for an independent investigation into the reassignment of the event center and an end to the politicization of development within the municipality.
At the heart of the dispute is the Jackson Park Event Center, which the group claimed was taken away from a qualified local professional despite a formal agreement and issued receipts. The group alleged the contract was revoked on the grounds of inadequate fees, only to be handled to an NDC-affiliated operator from outside the municipality under the same financial term. The group described this as a clear case of political favoritism that undermines the confidence of residents in public administration.
By the reports concerning the conduct of the Municipal Chief Executive, MCE, Honorable Ransford Owusu-Boakye, allegations that the approval and release of the MP's Common Fund have been deliberately delayed, reportedly for personal and non-official reasons, are deeply concerning. Further claims that relevant documentation have been withheld outside formal administration procedures, if proven true, represent a serious breach of public trust and government standards.
Secretary to the group, Ansar Jan, rejected recent media reports suggested that Michael Ochre made ethically insensitive remarks about the Eastern Regional Minister, Rita Akosua-Ejei Awate. He labeled these claims as false, baseless, and deliberately misleading, viewing them as an attempt to distract from the MP's record of inclusive leadership.
MP or no tribalism. Assembly Kasa bone of contention, Minister Nim say Etiano, where Dinu driving sort of Fabro, where D and Hammo Pa, and MP or Dono Manfono, or Casaman and Manfo said the Baya. Yes, young crow form for Chromo, Chromo Hasono, or Metimania, you may be a beamer, and Mebuna House on Yabia, and the Yasame say Yaka. Now, event center, yet Yamo Bedida, what you are Cadida. Oh, by a minister, I will say, Sikana Utu and Niswanti, a Jeff with some. Oji fini se ma oda komo obi watenkan ya onto abo mfi constituency ha na odi ama ne se won operate eno na yan ye okromu ya se ye da ye mpia se okwama yan nti yan so ye ta na chi pa.
That's all for the news updates. My name is Natasha Jamram. Good afternoon, Ghana continues.
Right, Natasha, thank you very much for bringing us the news updates today. Watching Good Afternoon Ghana here. So I mentioned earlier that today will be focusing on this very special story that my colleague Shadrach Odamiejare has been following in the Volta region and North Tongue constituency. And he's joining me here so we get to find out from first hand what he saw in the area. And then we'll be engaging the district chief executive for the North Tongue district in the region, also the member of parliament for the area, member of parliament for Lambusi, and also a member of the parliamentary select committee on health. Professor Titus Bay will be engaging him, and also we'll get to hear from the Ghana Health Service. Shadrach is here. Shadrach, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. Congratulations, because sometimes when issues like this come up, because of where these communities are located, it's difficult getting there. But for you to be able to get there and bring the story to light after the initial incident that had happened, that's why I want to appreciate you for this work. But just briefly share with us what you had seen in the area.
All right. For me as a journalist, or telling all the real stories, like I say, usually you the issues are one, you tackle it and then you are out. But for these, yesterday I was telling Ifwa that it's a whole roller coaster of issues and emotions running. The communities are having myriad of issues, from the immotorable roads to lack of potable water, and the definition of potable in these areas are even relative, and healthcare access to basic healthcare needs to even education,
right?
Social amenities, and it gets crazy by the minute.
Tell us about the that is the health bit, because that's what you saw really and showed to us. Give us a distance from where the community is to where the nearest health facility is. You drove, they would usually walk or trek. How long does it take?
Well, for me yesterday, it took me over 30 minutes to get to the nearest health facility, which is a CHIPS compound. And it was either we were doing that, or the next nearest was 52 kilometers away. So that was the closest I could get, and that was how I was able to bring the lady to safety.
Shadrach, you would hold on and let's engage the DC for the North Tongue district in the Volta region. Victoria Amefaji Yawa joins us now. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you very much for joining us here on the program. This situation has brought a lot to light regarding the issue at hand, where my colleague Shadrach Odamiejare was. I'm sure you must have seen it. Why do we have this situation? Thank you very much for joining us here on the program. This situation has brought a lot. Hello, Madam Yawa. Regarding the issue at hand, where my colleague. Hello, Madam Yawa. Okay, so trying to connect with Madam Yawa on this particular situation. She is the DC for the area, and we want to find out from her what is being done about the situation. Victoria Amefaji Yawa is the DC. Let's try again if she is on. Hello, madam. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. So good afternoon.
Right. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm asking that you definitely have seen the situation. Why do we have this situation?
Thank you. So good afternoon to your channel listeners and viewers, and good afternoon to the people of North Tongue District, especially my people up the Ayuwata electoral area. So yes, it's true. I've seen most of the videos trending on social media, and I would also want to empathize with my people. And it's not really a good video that is trending. But for us as a district and for us as a constituency, we are making inroads. So when you get to Ayuwata, just as we came into power, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has directed that we put up CHIPS compound, and because you have seen the guideline from Common Fund. So one of the CHIPS compound we are building as a district is situated in Ayuwata. It's even at the roofing stage at Aliwata. And we are even adding a borehole to the project. We have also built a nurses' quarters so that the nurse or the worker that will be posted to that place after our project is completed will stay and work in the Aliwata enclave. And so after seeing the videos as well, I spoke to the health director about what they have been doing in those areas. So he also mentioned that even though the health facility is not readily available, they have been going for the community sensitization in terms of health. So his workers have been going there once in a month. They go antenatal and they also go immunization. Everything that comes out that they should do,
Right.
they make sure that those within the Aliwata electoral area or enclave also benefit from what they are doing.
Right.
So,
Madam, you say that you're going to establish a new post, but I'm told that the nearest health facility, which is a CHIPS compound, does not have enough personnel in there, consumables to work with, all of those things that are needed for the facility to run. They do not have it. Why not we solve that closest facility to the community before we can think of building or putting something else together?
Every community, this is Aliwata is a far to reach area. When you come to Northton, we have communities that are really far from the district assembly. So we make sure that the communities are the far to reach areas also benefit from whatever the government of the day is doing. That is why we are giving them the CHIPS compound. Just as we have mentioned, the nearest is really not as near. It's a bit far from Aliwata community. So I will direct my health director to see to that the nearest facility, I really do not know because the nearest communities around that area, we have the Podoi CHIPS compound. We have also the Pompo CHIPS compound, which have health personnel working. So as I've mentioned, I'll speak to my health director, then we will see what he can be able to do to finish. Just recently, we went to Devon. It's also a far to reach area. We commissioned a CHIPS compound for them. We took a health personnel there. Then we provided everything that they needed. So my MP is also really working hard. Most of it, he even provides the medical equipment that we need at the CHIPS compound and the various health centers that we have in the district. So just as you have mentioned, we will work towards that. But as at today, the CHIPS compound that we are providing for the Aliwata community, which is a far to reach area, your journalists, the community journalists can attest to that, far to reach area, even from Japan to that place. So we must give them a health facility that will solve the problem within the Aliwata. Aliwata area should have more than 10 communities, settlements. And these are people are farmers. So they go to where they can farm and have a livelihood. So as you go, we have started communities, cottages, hamlets, and Azik. So you see that it's a dispersed communities that we have along that enclave. So when we situate one of our CHIPS compounds to Aliwata, it's going to help solve the health needs of the people, other than traveling that distance to the nearest health post to access healthcare.
Came to light. Were you aware of the situation in the area?
Nothing has been brought to attention. I also saw it just on social media, as you also saw it. That's what was brought to the attention of this thing. So, you see, in directing us to put up our two CHIPS compounds, the head director's opinion was sorted, and he directed that, we cannot do anything without the head director. So he is in charge of the health issues at the district. So we sorted his opinion, and he asked us that we should put up the CHIPS compound. That is a far to reach area. So most of our projects are overbanked. From Aliwata to the Ver to Abedo Torrent, those are far to reach areas. And then we have Aliwata, for instance, you mentioned of educational facilities. We have a school which was put up by our Honorable MP, Honorable Samokujeto Ablakwa. We also have rural electrification, which was also done by him, Honorable Samokujeto Ablakwa. The health facility too, in consultation with him and the health director, he asked us to place the CHIPS compound over there. So we are taking this community development one at a time. The road network from Aliwata Junction to Aliwata, yes, even the contractor that is working on the health facility help us to solve some of the potholes and those things on the road. That place, we have a big machine that can. But there are some places that we need a bridge over the stream, the Ayiwa stream. And this is an intensive project. So, my honorable MP has spoken with the road minister. I have also done a follow-up. Even our regional minister has also spoken with the road minister. So, we are taking these developmental projects one at a time. They will come in to help us. We will only have to keep on reminding them. Then they will come in so that we can have that bridge over the Ayiwa stream. Then most of these issues around the Ayiwa enclave will be solved.
I'm glad you've talked about the road, because the unmotorable nature of the road, as we see in the videos, so it cuts across to access to education, access to potable water, access to health care, access to everything. In fact, electrification, you talk about that. But again, not all communities in that enclave have access to electricity. So if such persons, like you say, they are farmers, they've got to trek long distances, and we haven't, I mean, as you say, you didn't know about it. What are the timelines? What are we looking at so that we can hold the district assembly, the municipal assembly to it?
Problems that we are not really saying that I'm not aware of what the challenges that my people are facing as a district. But what happened in recent times, none, the assemblyman has not even contacted us. But the challenges of my people as a DC, I'm aware. That is why I said we are taking them one after the other to solve for them. We have a lot of communities in Northton. And so once in a while, we try to solve the issues that come out one at a time. So with the roads, yes, just as I've mentioned, your people travel to Ayiwata and they saw the road. We have been able to solve that. The road is not really in a bad shape. And beyond Ayiwata, yes, as I have mentioned, it's a big project. The bridge over the Ayiwa stream is a really big project that we are talking to the road minister. Is in the known. So he will come to our aid to help us resolve. My MP has also spoken with him. I have done a follow-up at regional minister as well. Then, in terms of education, there's a school in Ayiwata. There is even the school at Agotive. Between Ayiwata and the smaller communities, there's another community that has a school. That is Agotive. Our students are there. Recently, I went to Agotive and I donated uniforms to the students at Agotive. So, we are solving the issues. You see, yes, we accept the fact that we have a challenge, and the challenge will be solved. You know, we are in the rainy season. In the dry season, we try to maintain the road. But in the rainy season, when it rains heavily and it's continuous, some of these issues crop up. And we'll go back. Today, my engineers at Ayiwata, through who want to Agotive to Agopo, they are there. But the women planning officer and my engineer, they are there to assess the situation so that we will know, it will inform the decisions that we will take as a district. In the dry season, we shape the roads. In the rainy season, when there are issues, we try to do that. So that is what we are doing. Even today, my MP is in the district commissioning projects. From here, we will go to the other side, another side, and I mentioned it to him that my engineers are there assessing the situation, and they'll give us the feedback. And going forward, we'll be able to solve the problems for them. We are doing a lot as a district. Just as I mentioned, borehole will be given to Ayiwata. We are in the procurement process. By next week, when we are done, we'll give them borehole. So, because within the next 3 months, they'll get water, borehole. Then, the other projects that we have also done in the district by MP a lot.
So, Madam, my colleague who was in the area has a question for you. So I'm going to let him in so that he can go. Shadrach, we have the DC on.
She opened up on the health projects they are undertaking. But I think striking for me is we trying to curb maternal mortality, and I am keen on that because when I took this very lady Sairam to the Chips compound, an incident happened. We met a mother that had just delivered, but she fell from the bed. Why did she fall? Because we had brought in another person and the bed there is only one. She needed to excuse herself from that bed so that the next person can be delivered on the bed. And that was how she fell. So I had to help the nurses carry her to another table where she can rest. So my question is, how fast can we get the basic things that would ensure basic health care for these people sorted out, such that if I am having to deliver or I am going to the hospital with diarrhea or malaria, nurses will not be found wanting with equipment and consumables. Because even when you report of fetal distress for newborn babies, there is no equipment for them to use in helping you, unless, of course, they decide to bag the baby continuously to maybe a Didome facility, which is about 52 kilometers away.
So please, the nearest facility there is not at Didome. The nearest facility, they just as I've mentioned that we have been able to equip with some items at the Pompo and the Podere Health Facility. Adidome should be the next referral hospital when they would want to go to Adidome, and that's the distance you are mentioning. So I do not really know where you took the woman to. We're also doing our investigations. Just as I said, I spoke with the health director. He has also not received anything on his table about where the woman was taken to. We just spoke this morning. So I would call the health director again with his team so that we will do assessment of the problems that we are having within our far-to-reach areas and see how Facebook can be able to solve their issues and come to this end. So I don't really know where you took the woman to. And also, just as I've mentioned, the Ayiwata Health Facility is at the roofing stage. They are supposed to build that health facility for, we give them 8 months. So they are within course. And by July, we should be able to done with that health facility. We commissioned, once the cells are posted there to solve the issues. But just as I've mentioned, we do not only leave them like that. Every time there's health education, the nurses go around to educate our people. And so the health director is there. You can equally speak to the health director to speak on these issues. But we are helping to solve our issues. We have been to Ayiwata. And over the years, Ayiwata has a chief but which is also in a deplorable state. And this is the new one we are giving them. They will tell you that nurses come around. Nurses come around to attend to them. And the nearest health facility is at Pompo or for the Adidome is at Central Point. It's a bit far from where we are talking about.
He's in the area. What has he said about the situation? Do you know?
Hello, please, your question again.
Yeah, you mentioned that the Member of Parliament for the area is there to commission some project. Is he aware of this situation at Ayiwata, and has he said anything about it?
Yes. When I also saw the videos, I mentioned it to him. Even today, just after the program, we are meeting the health director for a meeting. He's also around, so we are meeting up with him for a meeting so that we will discuss the issues. Just as I mentioned, we are talking with Honorable Abuja, the road minister. I've also done a follow-up. We have even done a conference call with the regional minister. He's also aware for us to be able to, just as I mentioned, the Ayiwa stream is a big project. So we will solve it. It's a big project. And when we are able to solve that, most of those communities that are cut off from Ayiwata will be able to have a motorable road. And it's, just as I said, we have done a lot of work over there. But this is a rainy season. And yes, so it's also telling us that there's so much to be done. And we have accepted that. I empathize with my people within that enclave. And so as their DCE, I'm a mother. So I would not want my women to suffer in terms of child labor and those things. So we'll be able to solve their issues for them. As I just mentioned, my engineer, my head of works, and my development planning, they are at Ayiwata today. They went to Ayiwata today. So when they come back, we will hold a meeting to understand the situation. Then we will take it out from there.
I hear you, and this will be my final question. I hear you say it will be solved. You find ways to solve them. But in the interim, if anybody is in the area and falls sick or has to get some medical attention, what is going to be put in place in the interim time to make sure that they get access to healthcare?
Yeah, so this morning in talking to the health director, I asked that he place somebody, there's an accommodation there. It's not really for the district, but we have gotten a place that the nurse will be placed there. So he's also looking to a nurse should be placed there with the medical equipment that can come readily available for malaria, for any other thing, so they'll be able to support our people. And also, just as I mentioned, we are going there to see what we can do to patch some of the roads. I told you the contractor also helped us in patching some of the potholes on the road. So we are going there and we'll do. Just when my engineer comes back, he will come and brief us, then we'll move into some. But the health director will also be going there. I'll go there with him as well when we are briefed by the engineer. That is the second person we are sending to Ayiwata electoral area. So when they come back, we'll have an emergency meeting. Then we'll also get there by Thursday.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us, Madam Victoria.
We are doing a lot as a district. There are a lot of road works going on. You can talk of the Eastern Corridor Road, which also passes through that junction. When we were going to Ayiwata, you may have seen it. Then we also have from the junction to Abutia. So, and all these roads are linked to Ayiwata. So once we do the major roads, the minor or the inner roads will be also be solved. So it's one at a time that we're able to solve the problems of the district. My MP is doing a lot. The district is also doing a lot. I also want to thank His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. His initiative that each district should put up to this compound is also helping. That is why we are able to put up the chief compound at Ayiwata, where we have also nurses bungalow. Then we are also going to add a borehole to the bungalow to give water so that the community can also extend and also use the water as well. So by July, when everything is done, I will also invite you to come around to help us to commission the project as well.
Well, I mean, of course, your duty is to the people, and that's what we would interrogate and to find out what you're doing for the people. You've mentioned a number of them. We'll definitely come back to see if that has been done. Thank you very much for speaking to us this afternoon. That's the DC for the Northern District in the Volta region, Victoria, Amefaji Yawa. We would also speak to Professor Titus Bayo and also Professor Samuel Kaba Akoria. He's the Director General of the Ghana Health Service. We would also hear from them. But back in the studio with Shadrach, so you heard from the DCE. What's more disheartening is that a first incident happened, and then a second incident happened. And from the shots that we saw...
This is actually a first and second we have recorded and shown to the public.
Right.
God knows the number of cases that have happened at hindsight.
Yeah. For the people in the area, what really were their concerns? What did they say to you?
Well, at every point, everybody is just there, awaiting what next happens. The health professionals there who are limited are awaiting what next happens. The villagers are awaiting what will happen next. And they now do not even make an attempt. Again, most of them feel there is no need attempting to seek health care because you will not succeed. I think we have a bite on other transport means or how they go about their duties.
What they've been doing in the area in
when
situations like
they
that.
need to go to town or when it rains and they would have to do some maneuvering. The producer can...
Okay, so before we get to that, so this is an aerial view of the road that leads to Ayiwata.
That leads to... this particular road is... the names are heavy for me, so because they are different communities, about 16 put together. Okay. But this view is giving us, helping us better understand how far that is where the car is parked, and that is the village way in the forest. There, you would see the village afar.
So where you parked your car is just maybe halfway of that stretch to the nearest.
That's not even half of the journey. This is just more like a backyard journey. And my car can't go through that route to get to the village and bring her. Right. So she would have to walk, cross the stream, and then continue to this very point.
So from the village to the point where the car was parked, how long did that take?
I think we came, with the expectant mother, we took over 20 or 25 minutes to walk to that place. I think I'm very sure we took over 25 minutes to walk to the place.
Okay. In your report yesterday also, you mentioned that there is actually a place. I saw you asking one of the gentlemen in the community that, is this where they have been given birth and all of that? And then it showed, the area view showed as just a few buildings, 1, 2, 3 buildings. That's where the Access Health, is that a...
So what the gentleman meant was, where you saw the lady, most of them deliver there. However, if you are unable to get there, or if your family cannot bring you there, then they would have to settle for any health.
Is it like a health facility, like a clinic sort of, or it's a local?
It is just any other heart. And from where I went to meet the girl, I was telling my cameraman that it was because I went there to meet the girl in labor. That was what pressured them to accept that we would have to go to the hospital. Else they would have kept her there. So it's just a bare floor, a hut that has cooking utensils, has food, leftovers and stuff.
Okay.
And that is the same place she was going to be delivered by, suppose, we call them in health, we call them TBAs, traditional birth attendants.
Right.
Yes. So that is how they go through. And I was also asking, looking at the route, and I was calling it a monkey sling, because we'll have to go through the wood. Would this girl be able to go through the wood? I think the producer should play that for us. Then we better understand how
from them, how they have been doing that.
Works.
Right.
Okay, I think that's it.
This is where we cross the stream. We left our bikes and our car some meters away. And this is where the people or community members go through, cross to go to the community or to go to their various homes. But the other twist is, we are already in the rainy season, so should this stream get filled or full to brim, all residents here would have to go through a makeshift bridge. I don't know what to call it, whether it's a ladder, whether it's a bridge. It's just a wood somewhere. So we'll try crossing it to see how the residents go through this part. So this is the makeshift bridge I am talking about. I am smiling because I am also imagining men in this community or residents here carrying their pregnant wives who are in labor to access healthcare via this medium, or having very feeble, weak or invalid family member who need healthcare. How do you carry them through this medium when the river is full? I just want to try going through, and wish me luck. I don't know how much insurance I have, but wish me luck. Oh. I swear. Ben, if I fall. Ben, this thing is so scary.
Well, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. For Shadrach to struggle on that, and it must have been a very hard time for you. I just hope you didn't fall in any way.
Like I said, it was very, very scary, because looking at myself crossing that log or lineup of logs, and when you watch, you may think they are on the floor. They are actually in the trees.
So then the trees?
Yes, so you'd have to go up and then get to the first tree, and then you go through it. The logs have been put in the trees. So you cross over just like the monkeys do, and then it takes you to the other side. So once the stream is full, that is your only source of crossing to the other. So that is
so the lady in the black is the assemblywoman for the area.
For Ayuwata.
Yes, she posted the video, the earlier video, the first video where the woman was carried with the cloth and the sticks. You spoke to her. She would understand the situation on the ground. How long has this been going on? Because the DCE, as we spoke to her, makes it sound like they don't know about it. They've not known about it because she says that she also heard the story on social media. And I was trying to understand from her that has this always been the case? Why do we have this?
From the people I spoke to, this has always been the case. This is how it's either you are going through the stream or once it overflows it banks, you use the permit me to call it the monkey sling. You use the monkey sling. So this is from their various homes, and I think another side has to do with the health professionals also calling for help on the things they would need to.
They'll need to.
Yeah.
Right. On that note, we have Professor Titus Bayo joining us. He is a member of Parliament, Select Committee on Health and Subsidiary Legislation Committee, and also a member of Parliament for Lambusi. He joins us this afternoon. Prof, thank you very much for joining us. This is very sad. This is a sad situation from what we saw last week with the First Lady being carried on sticks with cloth covered. She eventually lost her life. And then my colleague Shadrach going to the place and seeing another pregnant woman who was in active labor having to walk this long distance. Where do we stand when we say that everybody is supposed to have access to quality health care?
Yeah, good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers, and thank you for having me. It's a very sad spectacle you have painted. Unfortunately, this is a real situation in some aspects of this country, and some parts of this country. It is our wish and desire that every Ghanaian, in fact, it's a constitutional requirement that they all have access to good health. But challenges persist. And so when these challenges come up, we don't deny them, we acknowledge them and work to solve them. We appreciate the efforts of the community members to improve their lots. We express our deepest condolences to those that have lost a loved one in this scenario. But as you will realize, and I think yesterday the Minister of Health addressed the press and did state that data suggests that only about 5% of all health facilities have the full complement of what is needed, even in terms of equipment. And this is within the facility. And you also have delays outside of the facility. But the picture you have painted then tells us that what we've always known, that health is a cross-sectorial activity. It's not one sector. This requires coordinated efforts from the local government, from the health ministry itself, and from other key stakeholders, traditional authorities, because everybody must come together to make sure that everyone living everywhere in this country has at least some access to some level of care. This is a very sad situation, and I think that these key stakeholders must come together to work to make the situation better.
Right, and for areas that have these CHIPS compounds, as my colleague mentions, that these areas, in fact, for the Ayuwata area, there's a CHIPS compound that is close by, but not enough personnel there. So there are just two of them, consumables, every other equipment to help them do the work. In fact, there's only one mattress where a bed for delivery, and then when they got there, someone had delivered earlier. In fact, he tells me that the person fell off the bed, and then the one that they are taking to that facility had to hop on. All of these things, how do we solve them practically? And in fact, in situations like this, in the meantime, what do we do?
So I do hope that this particular facility beneficiaries of the 24,000 plus medical equipment procured by the ministry. But the ministry itself recognizes that, look, without equipping our health facilities, our attempt to even roll out this free primary care and all of that will be a challenge. That's why they began by purchasing the equipment. The presence of a CHIPS compound there means that government recognizes that, yes, it's an area with difficulty in access. Under normal circumstances, the requisite number of staff at a CHIPS compound should be about 4. In a well-set situation, it can go up to 5. But we need at least 4. So if they're having 2, we see the gap there. One gap analysis, human resource gap analysis, has shown that we need close to about 12,000, between 6,000 to 12,000 people, health workers, to be able to staff all our CHIPS compounds well. This is a huge gap that we cannot fill in a day. I am hoping that with the recruitment coming up, some facilities like this, because it's been decentralized, so the district health director has the authority to redistribute the people. He or she will be doing the recruitment, and he or she will be deploying. They will not be deployed from Accra. So she should recruit people and make sure that places like this are captured in the meantime. But you can see the challenge. With the facilities so remote, you can understand why some people will not want to take postings to the place. And that is why we require now that people who are applying for these postings are from that locality or from the communities close by or from the region. So if the application is decentralized, people know what they are applying for. So they don't get up suddenly and say, no, I don't know where you have brought me to. So I'm hoping these measures will help. But the immediate action is that the health directorate will have to look at it. Can they relocate some delivery bed to help that place? Sometimes other places may have more than they need. And look at their staffing situation. There is just not enough, but they have to make the best with what they have. And I hope that the few that are there will also be motivated enough.
Okay.
And that will help them to give up their very best.
Now, in situations like that where we're talking about access, and in this case of Ayiwata, the roads are impassable, they are motorable, long distance from the community to other health facilities that can actually help when people are in need of medical service and all of that. And in this case, you're talking about sending people there also, the lack of potable water, all of these things. Of course, it's going to discourage anybody who is being posted to such an area.
It certainly is. It's the reason why we try to motivate those who accept to go there. And so there are policies like allowing those people access to specialization earlier than others, promoting them earlier than others. There's even been discussion of giving them some allowances that their colleagues in the cities will not get. And some of these, that's why I keep saying stakeholders must come in. I know the Honorable Okudzeto has done so much in the health sector. And when this comes to his attention, he will look at this particular situation. He's one of the MPs that has invested a lot in health sector. You know, he gives awards to his best nurses, best doctor, build CHIPS compounds. So when peculiar situations come up like that, we need all stakeholders to come in and see what can we do to incentivize those that are there to continue to give up their best. Your desire to serve people should not mean that you are being punished. No, the conditions should be made such that at least you'll be comfortable doing what you are doing. And I hope that the chiefs, the local authorities, look, someone will even want to work there, but will not even get a place to rent when they go there. So what happens? That is when local authorities, indigents from that place who are in Accra and other places, will have to go back to see how they can provide an accommodation for staff that are willing to come there. Even when you want to rent in some of the villages, you won't even get it to rent. So what do you do? But those who deserve health care. So it is the reason why states must meet the citizens and all of us put hands on deck to be able to solve this situation. And I dare say it's not only this community. The minister lamented that there are still districts, not just communities, whole districts without a medical doctor in this country, which means you have populations of 40,000 plus without a doctor to attend to them. And that is not acceptable in this modern day age. But we all must come together and find a solution to this.
Prof, thank you very much for speaking to us on this particular situation. Professor Titus Bawuah is Member of Parliament for Lambusia and also on Parliament's Select Committee on Health. And as we wrap up on this conversation, Shadrach, there are other things that you saw in the community also, but you mentioned that you spoke to one of the midwives. What did she say? Your microphone, Shadrach.
Sorry. So she was lamenting the poor state of the facility.
Okay.
And now they even treat OPD cases and maternity cases together.
Okay.
So even when someone is in labor, you would have to treat that with the general cases because it's just one room.
Right. So that's let's listen to what she had to say.
Maybe we don't need it. No, so far as we are working with human beings, I think some of the things that bigger facilities are having, we need to get them here. So they should consider certain things. And you have to be working 24/7.
So
someone came and deliver. I'm monitoring her. Someone came again. We don't know what will happen next. Yeah.
You are having like 5 beds at a go. Where will you keep them?
Some will be on the corridor, and then we'll manage.
Thank you so much.
Have you seen that that woman fell when I was moving her? I called you to come. So nerve bed. When I'm having a labor case and maybe OPD cases come down, we have to detain. We have to put them together in the same room.
Right, so that's the experience that the midwife is sharing with us there at that CHIPS compound. Shadrach, so yeah, I know we saw the water that they drink, access to quality education and all of that. As we wrap up on this, they say that today engineers are going to the area, the MP may go to the area and all that, so we'll see what will happen. But any final thing before we wrap it up?
Well, I don't have any final thing. I only have a prayer that all the things like Professor Bayu has mentioned, the DCE have also spoken, and she also alluded to some conversations they've had with the MP for the area, the Health Directorate, and any other person who is involved. I am only praying that it doesn't end at promises, it ends at delivery.
Okay.
So that all the things that these people will need, like the midwife said, they are also human beings and their needs must be catered for. And if we are attacking or we are attempting to solve these issues, we will still have to do it one human being at a time. So it's my prayer that it doesn't end at promises. We see it coming to fruition.
Right. Thank you very much, Shadrach Odami. Kudos to you and also to Benjamin Ansa Odum, the camera technician on this particular assignment. You're still watching Good Afternoon Ghana, your Metro Television. We're taking a break. We'll be back. Stay with us.
It's me, Azar.
Yeah, me now they see. Hey, you don't look fresh.
Hey.
With your label today.
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead. Buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event ground and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us at 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
Bunty, why you there? What lie tell her today go give me my money.
Oh my guy, what's up? Oba un 17 na dede baby. Scan on ASA 500 cedis per. Ah.
I see. Level don't change. But you show me the way.
But there's some sorry Amanua. Talk to babe.
Here is Ghana dinero.
Huh?
Cash.
Yes, cash.
Let me show you the easy way to make money with One Shot. Visit the Wanna Own website at wannaown.us. Sign up with your phone number and get ready to play. Select games on the home page and then select One Shot game. Deposit to make an entry, then pick a number from 0 to 99. If your number comes up, you win a cool 500 cedis.
Hey, so it'll be easy like that.
Just like that.
So I'll go buy my dream car.
Por supuesto. Just visit wannaown.us and win some cool cash prizes.
Baby.
Boom!
You be too much.
Play responsibly. Gaming can be addictive. Accredited and endorsed by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
Africa's strongest arm wrestlers and the most powerful pullers are coming into town for the 2026 Africa Arm Wrestling Championships. It's 2 explosive days of strength, pride, and continental supremacy as elite athletes from across Africa converge to grip up, lock in, and go to war on the table for the title of Africa's strongest. Date 1st and 2nd May 2026. Venue Boteman Sports Complex. Come experience the power, passion, emotions, roar, chants as Africa pulls for glory and slam for the pain. The 2026 Africa Arm Wrestling Championship. Africa is coming. Accra is ready. Contact 0244-280802 for sponsorship and information.
Across Ghana's cities and communities, one issue affects all of us: water, sanitation, and environmental health. As urban population grows faster than sanitation services, poor waste management continues to threaten public health and our goal of universal sanitation by 2030. Ghana has policies, infrastructure, and partnerships, but one thing that is missing is a strong central voice. And that voice is the Clean Report, a 1-hour weekly TV program produced by Ignite Media, bringing experts, field insights, and policy conversations together to drive behavior change.
The Clean Report, championing cleanliness, inspiring action, building a healthier Ghana. Showing every Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. only on Metro TV.
You smell that? That's the aroma of a whole continent. Welcome to season 3 of Cook Africa, and I'm your host, Bilkis Jiwa. Cook Africa is a platform that showcases the traditions of Africa through food, from the East, West, Central, and Northern Africa. This is your show. Catch me on Cook Africa this and every Saturday at 5 p.m. on Metro TV.
From finding your dream home to building a legacy for your family,
The Homeowner Show has been your trusted guide.
How sure are you what you're getting is the right land? And it has to do with searches, land commission, checking social planning authority, checking everything to make sure that what you are buying is not a problem or a challenge prone transaction.
The stress of even not owning a house and constantly coughing up to rent is a big issue.
Join me, Hannah Atiasi, and my distinguished panelists as we delve into exciting conversations. Season 3 of The Homeowner Show, every Saturday at 6 p.m., only on Metro TV. Don't just own a house, build a legacy for your family.
I just got to the community here. What's the name of this place? Agotwe. And just when I arrived, I was told that there is another lady who is in labor, and because they do not want to risk it and may be unsuccessful reaching the nearest health facility, they have to keep her inside and then make sure she delivers at home. So I am actually on my way to check her in her delivery state and how labor is going so far. Good afternoon.
Yes, my dear.
Who is the mother here? You are so you are the one. You would have to help me with the translation. Are you the one helping with the delivery? But how far? How far is she?
Ale o lesisi ejebe amovanti oje na jigak mete na cho nwuse na wa jo tami didibe na wa pe ile koji amo manyo to nu pete oba
For what are we doing? I'm saying, are we taking her to the hospital? Because I don't mind using my car, but are we taking her to the hospital?
Yes,
or
they are planned to.
So why is she on the floor there? Is this where everybody delivers?
Yes.
If all those the women in the community, if they want to deliver, this is where they deliver?
Yes, please. Or any other rooms.
So they just put them on the floor,
yes,
then they deliver
yes,
there?
Yes. That's how they are doing it.
But are you a member of this community?
Yes.
Were you delivered here?
Yes, please.
This is where your mother delivered you?
Yeah. No, my house is there. You see, the house is the house, they are not settled at one place and they get.
So your mom told you were also delivered in the house?
Yes, please.
So all of you here were delivered at home?
Yes, please.
So meaning she's not going to be taken to the hospital. She will give birth here?
Yes.
That is what they are trying to do?
They told me that they are addressing her before to the hospital.
Because I am asking this man because personally now I am getting worried, and as a journalist who is also a bit versed in health related matters, I know the complications that come with active labor, because sometimes when labor is also delayed, you would have to now deal with things like obstetric fistula, where now the mother would have to be passing urine and then feces out of her vagina, and she may not even know. And for communities like this, they even attribute it to witchcraft. I am sweating, not because of the sun, but my whole body is feeling uneasy watching the lady in labor on the bare floor and with nearly nothing to be done, because now we would have to figure a way of carrying her through this route to where I parked my car. That is, even if I want to use my car as help. Else, we would have to let her be. There is nothing we can really do. So we are just watching them. It's a health center.
Yes. It's also far.
No, me, I don't mind. We can use the car. Almost midday, and like I mentioned early on, upon arrival, I chanced on this situation where this young lady is in active labor, and from where they are situated to the nearest health facility, God knows how they are going to get there. So I had to volunteer because I had a backup car available. But from where it is parked, that would be about 40 minutes walk from where she is living in the community. So the community members plus the elderly women in the community helped walk her from her house through the stream, and then gradually we were able to reach the site where I had parked the backup vehicle. So I am trying to find my way to the nearest health facility available. I don't know how far that is, but I'm just going as far as my fuel can carry me. And this is the reality on the ground. This is nothing dramatized. This is nothing scripted. This is a life trying to bring another life into or right into the earth. And this is what they would have to suffer. We are only keeping our fingers crossed. Should anything happen, when I say anything, should she get fully dilated and would have to put to bed, then we would probably have to change our professions from media personalities, from journalists to midwives or mid-husbands, if you want to call them, so that we help with delivery. So we are just going. We don't know what may happen, but gradually we hope to.
Definitely, and you can get more of that on our social media handles at Metro TV Ghana across all the platforms, on X, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, and also on Instagram. My name is Desmond Okreku Danso. Now we're going to play to you an interview that we had with the Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Lawyer Abraham Amaleba, and the conversation was about everything that's happening on our roads, keeping the roads safe for pedestrians, for drivers, and everybody involved. And also we delved into the conversation with the Voxy vehicles and any other actions coming in from the National Road Safety Authority. So let's take a look at that. Hello there, welcome to Metro TV. My name is Desmond Okreku. So today I'm in the office of the Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Lawyer Abraham Amaleba. We're here to talk about the authority's work so far. In fact, it's been about a year and 3 months that he's been here, and I want to engage him on how it has been so far. And of course, other conversations that we would talk about, that includes what that's last week, came up with the Technical Working Committee's report on the Voxy vehicles. We'll be hearing from him on that also, and some other issues right here. So let's get right into it. Thank you very much for joining us, Lawyer. We appreciate your time here. So, as I said in my intro, it's been a year and 3 months. It was in January 2025 when you had the appointments coming in. A year on, how's it been for you?
Well, I had got my appointment in February last year.
Right.
So, yes, 1 year, 2 months or so. But it has not been easy. The whole of last year, I didn't have resources to work because of change of government, and the fact that we needed to amend the old road fund to road maintenance fund, and to appoint new members to the fund. And I'm saying this because we get 90% of our resources from the road fund. So the whole of last year, no resources was released to me, but I still worked.
How did you work?
Well, we have some 100,000, another 300,000 from, say, National Insurance Commission, and say 100,000 from, say, DVLA. So you can imagine, with that little amount, I have to make sure I give some to the regions. You know, it's not only in Accra. Right. But we soldiered on. This year, luckily, in February, some money was released to us. So we are working and ensuring that the mandate of the commission is fulfilled.
So when you're outside, there's a different view, and when you get in also, there's a different view. Coming in, what was the thought about the road safety? In fact, were you even expecting the appointment here? And when you had it, what were you thinking like it was going to be?
Well, after appointment, you can't determine where you'll be given appointments. The appointed authorities. And once they put you somewhere, you go and work. And that's the spirit with which I came here. Before I came here, I knew little about this organization. But when it was clear that I was coming here, I had to lock myself in a room and read so much about the place. Because you are also coming to preside over people who are already working here. And so you need to be abreast with the work. So I spent 1 week reading about road safety, Googling, doing or asking questions. And when I finally settled in, it was clear that I had already done my background work on how this organization looks like and what I think I want to focus on. So as a lawyer, I said that I was going to focus on compliance and ensure that we go according to law. So if you look at my activities, it's all about dealing with the law side more than engineering or whatever. And I think that most of our problems on our roads has to do with people not observing the road regulations. And as a lawyer, I think I want to crack the whip on that.
As a driver, let's take away the position as being the boss here. As a driver, when you get onto the road, what are some of the things that you see that it just gets you there? And then you just suppose that with being in an office and now you understand why this is happening, what could be done to sort that out?
What comes to me immediately, I drive and I go onto the road is inconsiderate driving. Most drivers, be private or commercial, are inconsiderate. And when I say inconsiderate, you could just see that somebody is parked by the roadside and is showing his traffic indicator that he wants to enter and nobody stops. You have to literally stretch your hand and beg. It hasn't happened that way in advanced countries. In advanced countries, once you show the indicator, the car stops and then you enter. Inconsiderate driving is one. And you notice that when you are showing the traffic indicator, that is when someone will come speed and as if some kind of greed, you know.
They
don't want to wait for you to pass, you know. And people are just inconsiderate. Children are passing, they don't stop. Inconsiderate driving. Apart from that, inattentive driving, where people forget with their phones, and all those things cause accidents. So these are the things that hit me. But the larger picture is how we do not observe road signs, how we drive recklessly in this country, how passengers also aid drivers to drive recklessly. When a particular passenger is asking for restraint on the part of the driver, then the rest of the passengers would, descend on him. So we have a long way to go, but I think that it is an experience I'm relishing. It is a task I don't feel it's too much for me. I think it is an area that I want to bring sanity into it.
Do you think there's a deficit in the education on our roads in terms of the compliance to the regulations?
The deficit will be on the part of enforcement.
On enforcement.
Enforcement.
But also, if people are taught, as you say, that if someone shows an indicator that they're going left, you stop and let them cross. When you get to a zebra crossing, you stop and let the pedestrians cross. That comes from the foundational understanding of what using a road is.
The reason why I think education is not the problem is that this same driver, and the only place in Ghana where zebra crossing is respected by drivers is at the airport. It's the only place. I don't know if you've observed that. Okay. The zebra crosses at the airport, once you step your leg, they stop and you pass. That same driver will come out and will not stop. So it's not education.
It's not education.
So it is about enforcement. And we have institutional enforcement. We can sanction institutions, implementing agencies on the road. So we can sanction highways, urban roads, feeder roads, and even district assemblies for the road infrastructure. But we don't have the arresting power. That lies with the police entity. So enforcement, and when I came, I wrote to the police MTTD when I noticed that the accident rates were rising, to send men onto the road. They said, Dampare has asked them to withdraw. And so that's why you don't find MTTD on our roads. Then I wrote saying that, look, if you are not bringing them out onto the entire road, send them to what we know and call as black spots. And black spots are the roads where accidents frequently happen. You go to every community, they tell, I had the cast, I had the Nkrofua. That is a black spot. They didn't mind me too. So I think it's about enforcement, but not education. Every driver worth his salt knows this basic rudiments of driving. If there's a traffic indicator, you stop. If you see a vulnerable road user, you allow that person to pass, like the elderly, the children, cyclists, but they don't do it. Another problem has to do with jaywalking. People cross the road carelessly, not at the proper places. There are some places when you are crossing the road, the driver cannot see ahead of himself. So you need to cross at a place where it is so clear and the driver can see you. So some of the blame too can go to the pedestrians.
And in a space where you'd have to deal with, as you mentioned, accidents going on, and everybody would be mentioning the name of the National Safety Authority. It's something that I'm sure it's a huge thing that every day you think about how can we reduce this.
Exactly, bothersome.
Yeah, because you have met with your technical team and sat down and said that this and this is what is happening, let's do this. You can implement that, but then the accidents keep happening.
There are 3 regions that are giving us a bad news. These 3 regions are the ones that give us rising numbers, Greater Accra, Ashanti, and Eastern. Most of the regions do well.
Okay.
Most of them.
Central is not bad.
No, they are doing well. However, when the statistics come, they lump everything together. So you are not able to know whether the rate in Upper East or the rate in say Bono is coming down or not. They lamp everything up. So I've told my Tenka people that this time around, after you give the national outlook, let's look at the ruins. Give out those figures to the Ghanaian public. And that could even be like a league table that would put pressure on the other regions that are not doing well to do well. Because it will show that there are good examples somewhere. How come that our region is not doing well? So that also puts some strain on the drivers.
I was asking about the central region because we know of the stretch, the whenever Marcus and Cape Coast stretch, there are lots of accidents happening on that particular highway. Of course, we know the very popular Accra Kumasi highway. And for the eastern region where I come from, I visited Tutu. I come from Tutu. I'm from Ebri to Tutu, continuing to Mampon. The roads are closely, they are just like this, very narrow roads. People sell on the sides, but drivers, there are not so many, what's it called? Ramps on there. And people just move it. Like you say, you go there and they tell you, oh, yeah, it happens every day. In front of the teaching hospital, yes, okay, it's a teaching hospital. That part, they had a demonstration last year about how people get knocked on that particular stretch. With some of these hotspots or black spots, as you mentioned, how do we tackle it once and for all?
And I said earlier on that one, driver sensitization is not education. Education, they don't know anything and you are educating them.
Okay.
But sensitization, for them to understand that they are carrying people's lives, that you are sensitizing them, that they are not the only one. If they don't like their lives, there are people who value their lives.
Right.
So sensitization, you need to also let them know that you have embarked on a trip as a driver and your family is waiting for you. You get the point?
Right.
So the sensitization will do. Then also the education of the pedestrians. I told you that sometimes those who walk also contribute to accidents. If you are walking and you have your headphones on, we know people even ride and they have their headphones on. You are fidgeting with your phone whilst walking. All these things can cause an accident. And you are by the roadside. Immediately, a car is coming. You could have escaped, but because you were on your phone. So, and then lastly, it's about enforcement.
So, for such narrow roads, as I mentioned, the Ebri to Mampon stretch, what can be done about it?
When you look at the topography of that area too, you can see that it's undulating. And sometimes there are gullies on each side. You cannot, I will talk about expansion, but you cannot have that expansion. What I think is that there are, sometimes I find articulators passing there. That shouldn't be allowed. For such a narrow road, it should be just for cars. And so that will also take off the traffic from there. And so in that regard, I think we need to intensify road safety education, sensitization, and then also driver education.
Accra Kumasi Highway, lots of accidents happen on that stretch. I used it 2 weeks ago. And the situation on that road is very dire. We're losing a lot of lives from that particular stretch. I would say, of course, the driver bit is part of it. The road infrastructure itself is part of it. What other thing have you found on that particular stretch?
That road, the problem of that road, particularly the involvement of vehicles in road crashes, 90% of it is driver recklessness. On that road, you can see drivers driving in the opposite directions and meeting each other. You know, It's like Formula One on that road.
Right.
So yes, and the other issue has to do with overtaking, careless overtaking, where you will see a driver overtaking like 10 cars because he's in a haste or in a hurry. That, for me, is the major problem. The other one has to do with the fact that for such long distances, particularly linking two of the biggest cities, you will need a dual carriage. And the single lanes is what causes the head-on collision. You need a dual carriage. I'm happy Brother has announced an expressway, and I'm told that work has begun. I'm told the army is supervising the clearance of the people by the roadside. So the express road can be a major solution, but we must also ensure that our drivers drive within the regulations.
And I mentioned infrastructure in terms of the quality of that stretch, because you go through after, let's say, Lindado, there are patches on that stretch where now it's a highway and drivers have to dodge those potholes. So they tend to split onto the shoulder of the road. So it can become like a five carriage road at that point. So at that point, you cannot blame the drivers. There are potholes on highways like that. And even the problem also is when they are to be fixed, it makes it worse. And I don't know what happens with the bitumen. So it just gives an uneven stretch. And it's a very big problem also.
You cannot say it is solely the drivers, but the drivers too are part of it. It's not solely the drivers too are part of it. The road infrastructure is undoubtedly bad. It's a national disgrace that two of your biggest cities have that type of road. It's not acceptable. And that's why I'm happy that we are beginning to deal with it. So if the road is done, then it will also contribute to the reduction in road crashes.
Okay. So then in the case of Cape Coast to Takoradi or Accra to Takoradi,
I think that one too is being constructed.
Yes, from the Kaswa area. But from whenever to Takoradi is relatively a very good road, so that will point to the recklessness of drivers on that particular stretch.
Yes, recklessness. Our drivers are not disciplined. I will give an example. I was in Canada and I was walking by the streets. Then a driver who was like some meters away, far away, in Ghana to be far away. Apparently, I was walking towards the zebra crossing to cross that road. So he saw me, and I hadn't gotten to the zebra crossing. But the driver stopped, waiting for me, one, to get to the zebra crossing, two, and to cross. Now, I didn't know he was waiting for me. It was subsequently when I realized he was waiting for me, because he was looking at me straight in the face. When I realized that, I was shocked to my bone marrow that you could wait for me that long distance for me to come. So you know what I told him? I said, thank you, you go. Where I come from, they don't do that. I was so impressed because I wasn't in a hurry to cross. I wasn't in a hurry to cross. But for him to even wait for me, and I hadn't yet gotten to the zebra crossing, I thanked him and said, if you go there, he went. What was I told later on? That in Canada, it is a very, very serious offense. If you hit somebody on the road, you risk being banned. Apart from the court case that you have, you risk being banned for driving. So, but we are so used to indiscipline. When you are going to apply the laws, these drivers are up in arms.
But that's where the enforcement, as you mentioned, that your
I heard people talking when this Voxy matter came that is their livelihood. We are going to stop their livelihood. But get your livelihood at the expense of people dying. Does that make sense?
We'll get into that conversation, but you mentioned collaborating with the police, and then the issue of the MTTD. We have engaged the deputy PRO for JPR someone apart. He spoke to us, and then he mentioned that one of the things in checking drivers many years ago, you have them on every stretch.
The MTTD.
Yes, the MTTD on a lot of stretches. But that's not happening anymore. I mean, we grew up to watching adverts on TV where you find a policeman on the stretch with a mouth gun.
Yeah.
Check all of that.
Yeah.
You move on.
They call them breathalyzers.
Yes, you see them on the stretch regularly, and that helps to keep them in check.
I told them that people generally don't do what you expect. People do what you expect. So when they see a policeman on the road, they will reduce their speed. You expect that the driver will reduce. He will reduce. My saying, what I said, people do what you expect. They don't do what you expect. So if we are sitting there expecting that drivers will behave well, it won't happen. So the police presence alone is enough to calm down the drivers. Now, because they are not there, it's not like a free for all. And you notice that, though you didn't notice that nowadays you don't see drivers giving their regular sign or more, or more, or more. You know that. But because they were just on the roadside, so what is he telling the other driver when he say, oh more, slow down, slow down. So we don't have that again.
But you mentioned that conversation was, you were told that was during...
that Paris times, yes.
But
he's left office. He's left office. And recently, when we had a joint exercise with the police again, some of the police officers were saying that they cannot enforce. We had Easter, I don't know where people were there, at Bonsu, some at the Volta region, whole road. We spread ourselves somewhere in the Cape Coast Road. And the officers were telling us that they have been stopped from enforcement.
They've been stopped?
Yes. And when I asked the MTTD, luckily for me, the commander of the MTTD is on my board. I asked, officer, why? That then is because they were taking money and giving bad name to the police. Then I said that to me, left with me alone, it's better the drivers give you one city, and you're on the road than allowing people to be dying. The lives of people cannot be equated to that one city. So for me, let them go back. Let the police be giving them the one city, and let them check the carnage on the road.
Of course, this is not to say that they should be taking a while.
That doesn't mean that, but you can see the frustration. You can see my frustration.
So is that something you're working on, that they get back onto the streets?
Luckily for us, there's an LI in Parliament, which is introducing digitalization on road safety, or digitalization in ensuring that our roads are safe. That is what we call traffic tech. When the traffic tech comes in, you no longer have the police stopping you, because there are cameras at vantage points, and you see policemen mounting a tripod like this, and they will capture you. When they capture you, they will give you a text that you are, like what we have in Europe. You have jumped traffic light, you are overspeeding, they will give you offense, and then you have 14 days to come and pay. If constantly you will be paying that money, I'm sure your car owner will take the car away from you. Yes. So we have digitalization which is coming, which we don't even now need the police again, and that the digitalized cameras will do the work for us.
And that's what some people have already taken advantage of,
by
creating fake messages and sending them. The police paraded some of them a few weeks ago. In fact, a friend sent me a message when we did that story. Let me see if I can see that. That he received a message that you have traffic, you have an outstanding traffic ticket. This is your last reminder before the fine increases. And this is a fake one. So they parody some of the young men way of doing some of these things. So that will be another challenge.
Okay, so that will be this traffic tech project is the National Road Safety project.
Okay.
However, because we don't have the power to arrest, we handle it over to the police. So I would see how we can deal with these concerns, because people can take advantage and scam people and take money.
Right. Well, we just tuning. We're having a conversation with the Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Lawyer Abraham Amalepa. This part is going to talk about Okada, because it's been. I got into his office and I saw the helmets, and we have to talk about Okada, because the data we have here is quite staggering. That about 10 people died daily from road crashes in the country, and 4 out of those deaths are from motorcycles, or what we call Okada. A lot of people get infuriated by their behavior on the roads sometimes, or mostly. I use Okada a lot. If I'm stuck in traffic, I need to get somewhere, I hop onto it, make sure I get my helmet, and then go. But of course, it has come under a lot of scrutiny. But you have tried to find a way around it. Of course, for the NDC, it was part of the message that was preached to Ghanaians, to the Okada riders. You've gone to other countries to study how to do it through this. How far with that?
Okada has come to fill a void. The void of lack of proper transportation system. The void of lack of transport to certain destinations in the rural areas. The last 1 mile that a car doesn't reach there, and the first 1 mile that you have to walk to the station is filled by Okada. So Okada has come to fill a certain void, which is critical to road transportation. That's why even the attempt to ban it was not successful. The more you attempt to ban it, the more it is patronized. You know. So you live in your house, you have to walk to the main station in your vicinity before you can get a trotro. Okada will fill that gap for you. The trotro brings you to Accra, Tema Station, to move from that place to say the GFA 1 mile. You need Okada to bring you. So it has become one of our modes of transport. Now we are not oblivious of the dangers. And it's these dangers that you were enumerating. And we think that in such a situation, the best you can do is to regulate the activities of Okada and then make it safe. So it is like fire. Fire has a positive side, fire has a negative side. But you tell your children how to use fire. Then we are regulating the usage of fire by your children. So the regulations that we are putting in place, if adhered to and if enforced, as we saw in Rwanda, who are also blacks like us, who are also human beings like us, as we saw in Rwanda, then you will not have a problem. In Rwanda, the pillion rider must be in the helmet. And one thing I saw, and I kept asking the Rwandese, was that I was looking out for a lady sitting on a motorbike and was not putting on a helmet. And I've not seen, ever since we came, I've been looking out to see, so that I will see whether the reasons are that I have permed my hair, I have made my hair, I have wiped my hair, I have put on a wig and I don't want to put on. They say, yeah. So he said, no, it won't happen. It won't happen. So the Okada you see today, if we regulate it as per the law, you will not have the kind of casualties you have. So it is now left to us and then the MTTD to do our work. And when we do it, together with this digitalization of the road sector, when it comes, then I think we'll have sanity. So the sanity will come when the regulations are in Parliament now, when Parliament resumes, within a few certain days, it will pass. And when that happens, so the helmets, this helmet that you've seen is somebody who has got a supplier. Okay. And we have to send it through testing. We'll send it to Standards Authority. So it's not any helmet.
So it's not going to be any...
No. Okay. Because some of the helmets are so, what do I say, fake ones, shoddy ones, such that if you get yourself involved in an accident, the helmet will speed up your death. Because the helmet will break and choke you.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes the helmet also are a cause of their death because they are using inferior helmets. But we have standards. We have the standard type of helmet you must use. And so those are the ones we'll be recommending to the riders.
These days they formed associations, groups and all of that. And then even with from the Okada, there's the what they call the Pragya that also moves on our roads. Yes, some of the assemblies have restricted them from getting onto highways and all of that. What's your engagement with some of these associations? Okada Association.
I just met them last week.
Okay.
I met their leadership last week at the conference room, and I made them understand. We took them through a PowerPoint presentation, the things that we expected of them, and the things that we expected of state institutions to augment them. So they are supposed to be in unions. You are not more going to have a single person riding as a Okada. No. You must belong to a union, and that is for identification purposes. So at your union, you'll be registered. If you misbehave on the road, what we will do is to look for you from your union and the official. In the various unions or companies that will be formed, there will be road safety officers. So if you have a president, you have a treasurer, one of them will be the road safety officer. Okay. And that person will be coordinating between us and the union. And we will be visiting them regularly to ensure that they are on the right track. So the Okada you are going to see today is not going to be the Okada. Tomorrow is not going to be the Okada you see today.
Are you prepared for the challenges that come with it? That everybody gets up and could just sit and let's say Tetebu or in a Shaiman Zeni in the small area as you mentioned, from my house to the junction. That person picks up a motorbike and says it just moves about in that area. Are you able to make sure that all of those people get under these unions?
Oh yeah, because in those areas, the proper unions will be there, and they will be the one. We call it self-regulation. So part of their responsibility is to ensure that if a person is not part of them, he's not allowed to operate. So rather than waiting for us to come and educate them, they also have a responsibility to ensure the right things are done before we come. That's self-regulation.
Okay, right. We're going to take a break at this point. When we come back, we get into the Volksy conversation and all there is to know about it. We've been told there's some sort of misinformation about all of that. Director will share with us here. So stay with us very shortly.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally?
Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana colorectal center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calcates Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Calcates. Happy smile.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy. Specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties, choice of class.
Right, welcome back from the break. You're watching this conversation we're having with the Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Lawyer Abraham Amalaba. My name is Desmond Okreku Danso. So we talked about a number of things. So we were talking about Okada before we went on that break. And Lawyer was mentioning to me that what is coming up with the law, Okada riders do not have to meander their way maneuvering through traffic.
The regulations will not no more allow them to be meandering their way within traffic, because that also causes a lot of the accidents. Okay. And then they also scratch people's cars, break their side mirrors and those things. Apart from that, they are not going to be allowed to overtake at the blind side of the driver. You know, the driver blind side is on the right. If you are overtaking, it overtake from the left. Okay. But some of them will come through the right hand side, and mostly that side is where that's the end of the road. You know, the street. So they will go down into the rough road and climb back again. You know, so that is not going to be allowed. And coupled with the fact that now we are going to use cameras to catch them and then send them with tickets. If they don't pay, they can't renew their license. They can also renew their roadworthiness. And this time they are going to be insured. So because most of them don't have insurance. So as part of the regulation, they are going to be insured. So when they get an accident, at least the penal rider can be catered for.
Do we have data on the number of Okada riders in the country?
That we don't have. So part of the regulations, or part of what the law says, is that every Okada union must register with the road safety first. Okay. Before you can go to DVLA. So as part of it, 100 riders form a unit. So as part of it, they will list the names of the Okada or the numbers, and then so from there we are going to begin to have the data on that.
And that's going to be across the country.
Across the country.
What about the Pragya? Because they also very important to a lot of
the law deals with both tricycles and motorbikes and tricycles. That's the four-wheelers too.
Okay.
You know this. There are some which are also four-wheelers with the trailer.
Okay, with the bucket at the right. Okay. All right. So that we'll wait and see how that, as you mentioned, Parliament, when they come back, the session, we'll be looking forward to that one and see how it helps, you know, on our roads. Let's get into the conversation about the Voxy. Now I know since last week you have been on a number of. I'm sure your phone has been ringing every time since that information came out. Were you satisfied with the technical working committee's report?
I was more than satisfied. I didn't know they would go that extent to even unearth a lot of things that I didn't even know. For instance, I didn't even know that the Voxy vehicles, when they come to Ghana, apart from converting to the right, to the left, they also race the entire vehicle. Because in Japan, it is a family car and it's only driven within town.
Okay.
And town is paved, the cars are down. But knowing that in our part of the world, when it goes down, are not down, they'll be scratching, they lift it. So what does it tell you? It tells you that there's going to be a challenge with the stability of the car, no matter what it is. We are not the manufacturer of the car. No matter how good you are in converting, once you lift the car and you've already tampered with the right to left, and now you've raised it again. So is it therefore surprising that they are getting accidents? And just last Friday, somebody sent me a video of another Voxy. Even after all this brouhaha, there was another one. So the committee did a very good job, and I think that this report will stand the test of time. The other problem is that because our laws don't allow the importation of right-hand drive to left-hand drive, unless with permission from, and that one was just a recent Kufuor's time that it was amended. You know, because Kufuor brought in this buses. Not before buses. There were some double-decker buses.
Okay.
That were brought under Kufuor time, and they were all right. They came from Britain. They were all right-hand drive.
Oh, yeah.
So to augment our fleet, they then inserted that with the permission of the minister.
Okay.
So the minister allowed those ones to come. But is anybody going to tell them that all those boxes is the minister who will allow them to come? Is that what they want to say?
So that's where the problem is.
That's where the problem is. So when this matter came up, I'm happy today I signed some letters because I'm going to give copies of the report to our stakeholders. I read that customs, who are supposed to be manning our borders, have agreed that they will start implementing their law, which says that don't bring in right-hand drive.
Okay.
So this report has also awakening some institutions to begin to act.
There are already 3,600 and over number registered 2026 already. Last year 2025, another more than 3,000 Voxy vehicles. They are already here. What do we do with them?
We are saying that you can fly within the city center, so you can use it intra.
Okay.
Not inter.
Okay.
You don't cross cities.
Okay.
You can operate within. And we are also aware that Toyota Vitz.
Vitz, yeah.
It's also right
yeah, those are,
to left. But however, because they concentrate within the city center, you will not see a road line now for you to do Formula 1. and go and crash.
Yes.
So they can use them, and that's a human face. They can use them within the city. We're not banning them completely. We are banning the importation. So if the importation doesn't come, it's like oxygen. If you don't give it oxygen, those who are here, they'll run in the city, they'll spoil, and that will be their end. Nobody will bring another one.
So in the intra-city, it's accepted.
Yeah.
Now, those who have already been flying the long distances, so Accra Kumasi, Accra to Ho, Accra to Koforidua, Accra to Takrade, what do we do with them also?
So we haven't implemented the recommendation yet.
Okay.
It was on Friday or Thursday that it was given to us. We are going to have a stakeholder engagement.
Okay.
After giving the reports to all those people, we will have stakeholder engagement as well. Then after that, we will take a decision to ban it.
Okay.
But for now, today I signed a statement, a travel advice, something of that nature, to warn passengers to desist from using the Toyota Volvo before we come with our final decision.
Okay.
But for now, we are giving them warning so that if you disregard it, we are your problem. But we will send the travel alert out.
Has the DPRTU contacted you because they've been levied about the decision to ban, and even with what you're saying now that it needs to be intra, that's where it needs to be used. You've also really not been excited about their responses on these issues.
Now tell me, just tell me, if I am at road safety, government pays salaries, and I am supposed to regulate the roads, and I'm regulating and people are disobeying it, don't they need to close this institution down?
Right.
What's the use of having an institution which is to regulate, and if the institution, and you see, we didn't just get up to regulate, we were informed by a report, and we are regulating and people say no. How do we seek to continue to exist? But we are going to have an engagement with the transport owners or the operators.
Okay.
So GPRTU, VIP, all those ones, they are coming here. We are going to invite them and we'll show them PowerPoint. I heard one of them say that we don't have the power to ban Parliament. Ignorance. Parliament gave that power to us. Parliament gives power to institutions to work.
Yeah.
So I didn't know where she. But when that person comes, I will educate the person. Some of the resistance is because of ignorance, and I know that most people don't want to be regulated.
The report says that it's just the voting vehicles, just 1% of the accidents that they are involved in. There's a whole 99% to look out for.
So my counter argument is one life lost is one too many. I was shocked to hear last year that there's a country in the Scandinavian countries which never recorded accidents.
That should be Norway.
And I didn't believe it. How can you have an accident? And you see, in Ghana, let me be frank with you, we don't value road crashes as we value air crashes.
You've seen it as normal now?
People see it as normal. I am talking about people's lives, and you hear someone saying my livelihood. You are even alive, and you want livelihood. How about those who have died? Breadwinners of people. We don't look. If I were an aircraft regulator and I sent this report out, they will clap for it. And no airline would argue against it. Because we value, I don't know whether one is high.
The risk associated with them are maybe quite different.
But are they not both deaths? You will go to the airport and they announce that the flight cannot take off at the right time, because there's a mechanical problem and everybody is happy. But when you go to a transport station and then the driver says that, oh, I can't move, my brakes are not working, I'm going to the mechanic. Oh, have you seen the two reactions?
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Right.
I have never heard anybody at the airport say, oh, but we can still fly with that. But at the road transport, they will say, oh, but we can go. You drew one show, you drew a chima
So we are part of the problem.
We are part of the problem. We don't value road crashes. And in fact, we see that normal, like you said. And that's what I wanted to demystify people's minds. So whether I can do it, I've heard people say that I'm a lone ranger. Yes, I'll do what God and country wants. One day, some others will continue.
Right. Very, very interesting one there. And it just took my mind back to, would hear road crashes happen and it just comes like we're quite disappointed that it's happened, but we hope it's normal now.
Life continues.
Yeah, I get it. But Lord, why are we not seeing more road sensitization videos or adverts on our televisions, on social media and all of that? Why are we not seeing more of that? Because growing up, I can remember vividly the advert of the driver who went to drink from the spot before sitting in the car. When he spoke in the trotro, the passengers were like, hey, what happened? It was an advert that has stuck in my mind, and I'm sure back then it played a certain role. We've not seen much of that.
Those days we used to have one TV station, GTV, and and because they were the public broadcaster, the adverts were free of charge.
Okay.
Now, most people, there are various TV stations, and if you want to place adverts in all of them, it's running into millions. And the institution is not so buoyant financially. So what we do is when we are getting to some festivities, then we put in some adverts. So this is that if you watch, we had some in TV3. I have reached out to some TV stations.
Well, you have not reached out to
some didn't. Some at the last minute canceled the meeting because I wanted to plead with them, because I know even in private broadcasting there is a little bit of public broadcasting.
Right.
Can they put our adverts along that one, or even at a reduced cost? But it wasn't happening, so I'm not giving up. I'm going to still have contact with them, and we are beginning now to do something to come out with programs for the Christmas festivities. So very soon you'll see us at your station.
Yes, you need to come to Metro and then let's have this conversation, because it is our responsibility, all of us. Yeah, it's our duty to make sure that we do that, because you get on social media, and in fact when you tell someone that I'm traveling to Kumasi, and tell them
it's like a death trap.
You're going to the station, what comes to mind is Charlie,
because but you see, road transport or transportation was meant to move people from one place to another, goods and services. It wasn't meant to kill us. It was meant to make our lives comfortable. But what are we seeing now, particularly in Ghana? It's worse off. Well, it's not only Ghana, the whole of Africa. If you look at the statistics, Africa has 3% of global vehicle fleet, just 3%. But we contribute 27% to global crashes.
Right.
We are just we don't have 3% of cars.
Of the cars in the
world. The whole world, 3% of cars. Europe has so many cars that we have. Definitely they are producing them, so they have them. But we With our 3%, we are contributing 27% to road crashes. Those who are even manufacturing the cars, and there are so many there, they don't have crashes.
Are we looking at the kind of vehicles that will be important to the country?
Maybe
The quality of the vehicles?
The second hand. So maybe the standards. And you see, when we brought about this box, some of the mechanics who do the conversion said that they are doing it well. They are doing it well. Let me ask you, when you are building a house or constructing a road, don't we have standards for the construction of the roads? And at the end of it, when you finish constructing the road is certified.
Right.
There's a certification. Ghana, we don't have standards, and it's not our fault because we're not allowed to import those cars. So our standards boss don't have standards. Who's looking at them, saying that now that you've removed from right to left, and then you fix this thing here, it is okay or it's not okay. Right. So it's not about just saying, oh, we do it well. There should be somebody who oversees that. Oversees what you are doing well. We don't have that.
That's not there.
That's not there.
What are you going to do with such persons? The garages who do these?
I describe them as brothels. So if you are in the business of changing right to left, we are going to come after you. We are going to close you down. Because if we allow you to continue working, we don't have the capacity to check what we are doing.
But again, won't you say that it is not their fault that the cars came into the country?
So the first thing is the customs. And I'm going to engage the custom director because I'm also happy that even without my prompting, he said that they are going to stop their importation.
Okay.
So when you stop the importation, you cut off the oxygen.
Okay.
And that would make them not have the cars again. Then we too, we need to close down. The one that is a challenge is that they also convert them in Dubai before they bring them. And today, my technical people were telling me there's a way of checking that one.
Okay.
According to them, I won't say it because they will know what to do.
Okay, so it's converted in other countries also before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the DVA guys were saying that they don't register right-hand drive.
Right.
They will be there sitting in their offices, and then
they come in
with the left hand. Once they see his left hand, they will raise their hand.
Okay.
So it is for us to also let the DVLA know how to check that this has been converted.
Right. Yeah, we'll be wrapping up on this conversation. We've talked a lot of insights about what you're doing. But for the year 2026, what was the target in terms of reducing crashes and all of that? In fact, I've seen a lot of the Stay Alive. I've seen Obosamedu and Obosamedu or something like that. A campaign that it's not the devil, it is you, as we always say. What are you doing for this year?
So, for instance, we have revised our targets. Okay. We were using the international standards to reduce road traffic crashes by 50%. But that's globally the UN decade for road safety. And that says that we should reduce accidents by 50%. We think that is too high for us because we don't have the infrastructure one. They have the infrastructure, so they can reduce it by that. So we are revising it to 25%. But we are also going to ensure that we step up our campaigns. One of it is what we are doing. One of the campaigns or one of the structures, the strategy put in place is what we are doing in the box. So we'll clamp down on that. We'll also deal with the road infrastructure. So for instance, if you were coming at GIG, I asked the urban roads to do a zebra crossing for the students. It used not to be there, it's now there. So the road infrastructure institutions, I would get in touch with the street lights So what people don't know is that they think that we are the ones implement. We don't do those things.
We don't do those things.
We are not the one putting the lights. We don't put on the street lights. We don't put on the urban. There are institutions that do that. We oversee them. So we are like PURC of electricity company and then Ghana Water.
Okay.
PURC doesn't come to your house and give you water. The PURC oversees the work of. So that's how we are.
Right. That reminds me of the conversation about traders taking over, some portions of road, and then it leads to accidents and all of that. What's the action for that?
That falls squarely within the assemblies. They are the institution responsible for that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
The Director General for the National Road Safety Authority. Many thanks for watching. My name is Desmond Okreku-Danso. It's bye for now. Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, it says as they are coming after the shops that are engaged in the changing of the Voxy vehicles from the that's from the right hand to the left hand, who closed down those shops, and also says that there's a target of a 25% reduction in road accidents in the country. So you had the lawyer Abraham Amalaba, and that's a wrap up the show for today. Many thanks for watching. But before we go, I want to say a happy birthday to the president of the Association of Nigeria Women in Ghana, Mrs. Militracy Marlet is her name. Today is her birthday. Glorious happy birthday to you. May God bless your new age with joy, love, and fulfillment as you step into another phase of your life. May this year bring you closer to your dreams, and that is coming in from your husband to you, Mrs. Militracy Marlet, the of Nigeria Women in Ghana. Also, happy birthday to Michael Wesley, who is with us here at Metro TV, and also to Komla Adam. That's it for the show today. Many thanks for watching. My name is Desmond Okreku-Danso. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye-bye.
Africa's strongest arm wrestlers and the most powerful pullers are coming into town for the 2026 Africa Arm Wrestling Championship.